Hi everyone, it's KIREI here for Bramble Fox, and I have a brand new process video, and I'm using a number of the newer sets available in the shop now. The Winter Memory set, the Winter Warmers set, and I'm also using Paper Snips number 88 that comes with the March Fox Box Plus. Now, I've pulled out this Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Flannel Season collection, which I've actually really loved. And I've used it on quite a few layouts. And I thought it would work perfectly with my Winter Memories title because there are some sort of blues in the collection, as well as the sort of richer greens and reds. Yeah, I thought it would work particularly well. So I don't have loads and loads of it left, certainly paper wise. So I had enough to sort of create this sort of square central background design. So I've got the green that I've created a frame with, and then I'm adding that sort of plaid pattern over the top. And then I've pulled out a number of photos from trip into London in December. And Lee and I took his dad into London. It was a belated birthday present. We'd promised we'd taking him in to see an exhibition of his choice, but to take him to a particular this sort of restaurant in Covent Garden called Mother Mash. And it was all different types of potato. To be honest, you could have them any way. Honestly, there must have been about, I don't know, 8 different varieties of potato, from mashed potato to all sorts. Anyway, and pies. So it was right up his dad's street. So we thought we'll take him there. So the exhibition that we ended up going to was the Tate Britain one with Turner and Constable. And Lee's dad's really he loves sort of painting and art. And so it was right up his street. So yeah, we went into that first, which was really good. Actually, we really enjoyed it, seeing the Turners and the Constables, a lot of them side by side, and just talking about, because they were artists, in very much the same period. So yeah. Anyway, back to my layout. What I'm doing here is I'm piecing together the red elements because I wanted to back my photos with those in a block, and I didn't have much of the red paper left, but I felt it would work really well just to make them pop from the background. So I've paper pieced it together, and then I've just actually added another bit of white cardstock to the back just to sort of strengthen it, because I didn't have a full, obviously the paper's just on the edges. So yeah. Now I've just added some foam pads to the top edge, and then I'll have it stuck flat along the bottom, and I'm just making sure that I've got that nice and straight. But I get it down, and then I looked, and I felt like that top right corner, there seemed to be, I felt like it was sort of sticking up a little bit, so I'm trimming a tiny little bit off, and then I can get that stuck down again. And then I can work with adding all the lovely embellishment clusters, which is always the fun part. Certainly is me. I love this part. So I have the ephemera from the Simple Stories collection. I've also got a number of the fussy cut elements from the Paper Snips. So that little blue house is from the Paper Snips. I think, what else is from Paper Snips? Nothing here at the moment. The others are in my little tray at the top, so I'll bring those in. And then I'm adding, I'm just working out the embellishment clusters at the moment. I've got the sweater there, that comes with the Winter Memories set. And then I've got the 2 little cups, mugs really. And then I also have some blue snowflakes, and they come in the Winter Warmers set. So I'm going to add those into my clusters. My sweater's like a purpley colour, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to add it in. And actually, when you look at it like this, it doesn't feel too odd, because there isn't really any sort of purple in the paper collection or the other embellishments. But because I've got some sort of richer reds and that, I felt like, it would be fine. And actually, it works. It works completely fine on the layout. So I was happy with that. Okay, so I'm creating this top cluster. Oh, there's a couple of the clouds. They're from the Paper Snips. So I'm just layering those in, curving up the edges to give me the dimension. And then get that snowflake on into that top cluster. Happy with that. I do realise, actually, I added that tag, and I haven't added anything into my tag. And I did take my photos without doing that as well, so completely missed that. I tend to not like naked tags. I'll always add something to the little hole at the top of a tag, whether it's a bow or I've just wrapped some, thread around it. But yeah, I definitely need to add something to that, so I will do that. Okay, so into the cluster down here on the left. So I'm just layering up pieces. I'm obviously adding some foam pads to that little phrase. It says, "Oh, what fun!" And then I'm just popping the 2 mugs on, tucking that one in on the left there. And the navy, they were perfect actually. That navy works really, really nicely with this collection. And then I'm just adding in a few little, I'm trying to get in the red. So there was sort of red berries on that in the right there. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I added some red into each of my clusters. So I think that's a little red, yeah, a few red berries going in there on the right. Got the bow there, and that does have red berries on it as well. And then I've got another one of the blue snowflakes. What have I got? Where am I now? Okay. That's right. So I have the cardstock sticker sheet, and there was this scalloped strip, and I decided I've de-stuck the sticker, and then I've curved up the edges of the scallops, and then then I'm just adding a piece of the strip to each of the 3 sides, just where my clusters are. And that allowed me to bring more red in, which I really liked. So my last one going in up there. And then you'll see I've got my title, The Winter Memories, with the blue, which I'm going to get stuck down now. And then I've got like 2 journaling pieces below that. I won't stick them down on the video because I want to add some journaling on them. And then I actually want to raise them on foam pads. So I will do that off camera, but you'll see how they look in the close-up details. But I'm just going to add the 2 cards there, raise them on foam pads. And I've got 2 like little seed pod pieces that I'm just going to tuck in on either side. Bringing in some enamel dots here, and I'm just adding them in 3 different colours, in red, the pale blue and the green. And again, this allows me to bring in the colours to each of the clusters as well, because in the top cluster I don't really have much of the green, so though it's obviously on the green, you've got the green frame, but it just allows me to bring in a bit of the extra green as well. And then I'm getting close to being done, as I say, other than adding my journaling. Now, don't forget, pop on over to the website, bramblefox.co.uk. You've got all the details for the Fox Box, which is the fabulous monthly subscription. And of course, click on new products and you'll find all the fabulous new bits and pieces that are available in the shop now. Okay, I decided to add some white splatters to each of my clusters. So just watering down a bit of this white acrylic paint, and then I can add that to my clusters, and then I'm pretty much done. There we go. I'm happy. Another layout ticked off my list of photos to scrap, which is brilliant. And here we go. I think the final layout's coming up. There we go. And there you'll see the finished journaling piece underneath the title. There's close-up details. Those fabulous perspectives from the 2 sets, Winter Memories set and the Winter Warmers set. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video and feel inspired to use the new sets in the shop. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.